Go ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who've passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here, and it is just going to be a great meeting this evening.
We can't wait for this meeting. This is just going to be so wonderful. And I'm so grateful to have everyone on here. I think that it's really important for all of us to understand that even though we believe that we are the ones who are leading our healing journeys, it's actually our kids. And these stories with Dave and Patty, as well as with John and Mara, will really allow you to understand that, as well as with Irene, which is amazing. But also, we're going to be talking a little bit about Suzanne Giesemann, who's someone who has connected all of these parents and who is constantly working to help all of the parents and helping parents heal. So, what I'm going to do first is just explain that Dave and Patty are from here in Scottsdale, Cave Creek area. And when their daughter Lauren passed at the Mayo Clinic, they didn't know about Helping Parents Heal, but they found out about Helping Parents Heal when they went to Hilton Head. And so that was a very exciting thing. And they've been a huge part of Helping Parents Heal ever since. Mara and John Navaretta, who are the parents, I'm sorry, Dave and Patty are the parents of Lauren. John and Mara, the parents of Sabrina, have had some incredible gallery readings that Sabrina kind of dominates. She's really, really good at that, as is Lauren, by the way. And they are now affiliate leaders in Long Island on the North Shore, and they've brought so much hope and healing to so many parents. So why don't we go ahead and get started? First, by having Irene read a letter that she received from Patty, and then we'll go through some other videos and other things just to kind of bring everything together. So go ahead, Irene.
Okay. So again, welcome everyone. And as Elizabeth said, we're so excited for this special Zoom meeting tonight. We wanted Patty and Dave and Mara and John to share with everyone, showing that healing is possible after our children are no longer physically here with us, and we can live a happy life. Knowing that we will always have a connection and relationship with our children makes all the difference on this journey, as we all know. It's also through connecting with others who've experienced what we have experienced, and through the bonds and friendship form that we no longer feel alone. These two couples are here to share their journeys, hoping to help others Along the way, they have connected with their daughters and have gone on to help others. I met Patty Hart when she sent me an email in April of 2024. But first, very short backstory. I've been blessed to have Suzanne Giesemann as a friend and then as a neighbor since she and her husband Ty moved to the community in Hilton Head where my husband Tony and I live. We left New Jersey 1 year after my daughter Carly's passing from esophageal gastric cancer in 2013 and built a home in a community in Hilton Head. A few years later, Ty and Suzanne built a house right around the corner from us. I met Suzanne originally when she did a reading for me on the last day of December in 2014. That reading changed my world. It was as if Suzanne was sitting with me and my daughter on the couch together, even though this was a phone reading and Carly had passed almost 2 years before. Undeniable evidence that no one could know or Google. I went on to become involved with helping parents, an earth angel who encouraged me to start a Helping Parents Heal affiliate group here in Hilton Head, Bluffton, South Carolina. Now back to Patty and Dave. I received the following email from Patty, and I had just finished reading it when Suzanne texted me that she'd like to stop over with a copy of her latest book. I shared the email from Patty with Suzanne. Patty spoke of just reading the book that Suzanne wrote titled Still Right Here. Still Right Here is about a catamaran trip that Suzanne and Ty, Cyril, me and my husband Tony, and Jeff and Lynn Holohan took in the British Virgin Islands in January of 2017. Here's the letter from Patty. Hi, Irene. My name is Patty Hart. I am reaching out to you because I am reading a book called Still Right Here by Suzanne Giesemann. I just finished reading the chapter where you were giving a reading by Suzanne. I don't quite know how to put this, but I cried through the whole thing. I'm currently sitting on a deck in Washington State, looking out at the water where I sprinkled my daughter's ashes just 3 years ago after losing her to leukemia. Her birthday is Sunday, April 28th, and we are here to do a balloon release on her birthday, which we do every year since she passed. The similarities between what you've gone through and what we have gone through are just incredible. I'm struggling tremendously, and your story has touched me and made me feel like maybe there's hope. Maybe I too can get through this. My husband and I just recently moved to Bluffton, South Carolina, which is another connection that shocked me. We moved in February of this year. I was wondering if there's any possibility I could reach out to you and talk with you. I know it's a big ask, but it would mean so much to me to connect with someone that I feel really knows what I'm dealing with. I'll be back in South Carolina on May 1st, and if you feel so inclined, I would really love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening, Patty. Well, shortly after reading the letter, I looked out my front door where I saw Suzanne walking up my driveway reading something on her phone. She said to me, I just read Patty's email and I'm going to call Patty right now. And she did. She dialed Patty's phone number. Patty answered the phone and hung up on her. We both laughed, thinking Patty must have thought it was a prank call. Well, I'll let Patty take over from here.
Uh, okay, so I didn't think it was a prank call, but I was on the phone with a dear friend of mine who had just we just had some flowers and a cake delivered for Lauren's birthday. And I was talking to her and I saw the name Suzanne Giesemann come through, and I thought, why is the author of the book I'm reading calling me right now? Well, I don't really know how to work my phone really well. So I thought I was taking her call and hanging up on my friend, and I actually hung up on Suzanne. Couldn't really figure out how to call her back, and thankfully she called me back. And she said, this is Suzanne Giesemann, and I just want to let you know that Irene is here too. Said hi, Irene, because she said hi in the background. And she said, she sent me your email, and I would like to offer you a reading on your daughter's birthday. And I was pretty speechless because number one, that was nothing of what I was expecting. I really just wanted to talk to Irene because I felt like this was probably the first person that I felt I could connect with. And truly reading that book, I felt hope for the first time that somebody would understand what I was going through and could help me. And so that's really all I wanted. So I said, yes, of course, I would love to have a reading. And so she said, I don't have anything going on your daughter's birthday. So she set up a reading for us on Lauren's birthday, which was Sunday, April 28th. Um, we, I will preface it by saying, for the prior 3.5 years since Lauren had passed, I was in a very dark place, and I didn't believe in healing, and I didn't
You
think
didn't want
that
to heal.
I didn't think I deserved to heal, but I would have loved to hear from my daughter. So when we had the reading with Suzanne, it was so filled with evidence and messages that were undeniable from our daughter that I couldn't explain on my own, that it was in that hour that she spoke with us and shared with us, it changed everything for us. It let us know that not only was Lauren still with us, but she was communicating, and with the help of Carly, which we found out in the process of all of this and the way it all came about, she kind of had decided that we had been in this dark place long enough and she was going to find a way to get us out of it. And so she found a way through Irene, through Suzanne, her and Carly did, and gave us these messages and gave us this evidence that showed us that she was right here with us. She never left us. She knew where we were. She knew what we were going through.
She knew about things that had happened after she had passed.
And she wanted to give us messages that, number one, it was okay for us to be happy. Number two, we didn't need to feel guilt. Number
Or second
three,
guess.
this was always going to be the way it was. It was nothing that we could have done or didn't do. It was life-changing and transformative. And it was thanks to Lauren and Carly and Irene and Suzanne that this all, and the universe, that this all came to be. And it was incredibly life-changing. And really the biggest thing that it did at that time, that day, because it was very almost instantaneous, was that it gave us hope. A word that I never thought I would use again. And it also gave us gratitude. Another word I never thought I would use again, because it made me grateful for the fact that I was given the knowing, not just having to believe, but the knowing that Lauren was still here with us, that she didn't just go away. And that was life-changing, absolutely life-changing.
So I would like to possibly go ahead and play the trailer that was made for the reading that happened on the 28th, and allow people to see how incredible the change in Patty and Dave was. It's hard to see Patty and Dave as being anything but really upbeat and really happy right now. But at the
Yep.
time, that was not the case. And so, and by the way, they're with Daisy, which is Lauren's little adorable fur baby. So let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen, which is always so much fun trying to figure this out. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then I'm going to go to, let's see, so I'm sharing my screen. I have to, first of all, before anything, I'd like to be able to share this picture, which is kind of important. Obviously, right after Suzanne had come over to give this book to Patty and say that she wanted to do this reading for her, This picture was taken with Irene and Suzanne and Ty, and obviously with Patty and Dave. So let me see if I can now get this picture off and figure out how to get to my desktop, because it's always so exciting trying to figure that out. Let's see. Here we go. Just stick with me. So the video, okay, that we're looking for is one that Suzanne just sent earlier today. And I believe that this is it, yes. So let's go ahead and watch this about Carly and
You can sell
Lauren.
this $5
Oops.
spatula on Amazon and compete with hundreds of other spatula sellers.
Sorry
Or
about that.
you can sell
Skip that.
And in which you are discussing
I
messages
think
of
I went
hope.
back. Again,
The
I
me-
did something silly. Okay.
She was so excited, and she and Dave just were going on and on how the events of the past 2 weeks have just changed their life.
There's a name like Brittany.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She would have made a good teacher. She may have talked about wanting to be a teacher. Okay. Other people made shirts with something about her that multiple people are wearing. You need to let people know this is real. I'm very grateful, okay, for this connection. Yay. Your daughter has me quoting Rumi, and
She filled 15 quote books with over 7,500 quotes.
I know when somebody blows bubbles with one of those little wands. So I said bubbles, and it turns out it's a really big deal for your family with her.
So how did we not get that right away?
Absolutely nailed it.
We could feel her.
And she knows now that she can be happy again, and she can find joy again.
I feel like this tremendous weight is gone, and feel joy and not feel guilty because she isn't here to feel the joy, because she wants us to feel the joy.
Can you imagine how she's celebrating right now? No, happy. Oh my.
Yeah.
So I know that Suzanne would like to say something as well, because she's here with us, which is very, very exciting. So Irene, can you?
So this next section, the steps for getting into the USA, and I don't mean with your passport, the United States of Awareness. But what I'm going to teach you are the steps for getting into that merged state by using the acronym.
Oh,
I hear my video playing. There we go.
So this I've broken down.
there we go. Done.
Hi, everybody. I wasn't going to come on because I'm dealing with some back issues. I'm kind of lying here a little bit extended, but I'm just watching this and I just have to say, you know, we're all human. And so this is my human side, but there's just so much love here. And I just am thrilled that Patty and Dave are willing to share their story. They're such a story of hope and how healing takes place. And I know that Mara and John, you guys are involved and woven into this in the most beautiful way, because our kids are just, they're all watching right now. Everybody's kids, they're watching and saying, yeah, we're all together. When you guys meet, we meet. So just, I'm grateful to have played any part in this at all. And I didn't want to hang back there and just have my picture and not let you know that I'm just sitting back here sending all of you so much love. And I'm just going to mute my camera right now and disappear into the background and just send love to all of you. Okay.
And we're going to send
Thank
tons of
you.
love to Suzanne as well, so that she can get healed as quickly as possible. Lots of white light and healing energy. And with that, thank you, Patty and Dave. Did you want to say anything else before we pass to?
I do want to say something. You know, the gratitude that we have for the reading that Suzanne gave us, and for Irene for connecting us with Suzanne, and for Lauren and Carly for making all this happen. But I do want to say that as much as we had this reading and it was life-changing, I don't think you have to have a reading to know that our kids are still with us. it's amazing, and it's helpful, and it's wonderful, and I would highly recommend it. But you can do it. You can connect with your children. You can connect with your loved ones. You can do it without a medium. There are ways. Suzanne has many on her website, but not just to sit and listen in quiet and ask your person or your child or whoever you're trying to connect with to come to you, and it can happen. And we're all able to do that. So if you aren't able to connect with a medium, you can still connect with your loved ones. And I think that that's really important to know, and something I didn't know before all of this,
And you
these
have.
last 15 months.
And you have
And
connected.
I have been fortunate to connect with Lauren. So I just want people to know that you can do this too. And you can find joy and happiness and gratitude and healing. It's all possible. I didn't think it was possible 15 months ago. I know it's possible. So you can find it too. Wherever you are in your grief journey, you will find it too.
That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Dave, did you want to add anything or?
Only that I got my wife back.
Oh. Oh, that's so beautiful. And I just want everyone to understand that Patty and Dave went through a very, very difficult time because uh, obviously Lauren passed during COVID. That was a very hard time because they didn't have a lot of resources, they didn't have a lot of people around them. But here they were in Phoenix or in Scottsdale, and we have such a big group here, and for some reason we missed each other, but we didn't miss each other for long. So I'm
Oh, and the last thing I'll say is Helping Parents Heal has been amazing. We did not find Helping Parents Heal until 3.5 years after Lauren passed, but we have them now, and it's an amazing support group, and the love and the connection that you feel in this group is priceless. And I would highly recommend anybody that's lost a child, please share this group with them.
Oh, thank you. That's such a beautiful thing to say. And it's true that we all are, first of all, we're all so similar, and yet we're very different. But the one thing that unites us is that we love to be able to talk about our kids. And we also love talking about connecting with them in spirit. So those are things that are not easy to talk about with our friends or family. So it's wonderful to have this group to be able to let everybody know how fabulous our kids are and everything that they're doing to allow us to connect. Thank you, Patty and Dave. Thank you, Suzanne. Let's move on to John and Mara. I'm asking you guys to unmute, but I think you're co-hosts as well. And I don't know if you want to start with the video by Mitch, or would you like to start and explain a little bit about your journey?
Our daughter Sabrina was a freshman at the University of Delaware when she was a passenger in a car. And so her passing was obviously sudden and unexpected. And that was, we'll talk about the synchronicity of this, but it was April 28th, 2023, Lauren's birthday. From there, we were in a fog, but I did have a mom reach out to me from Delaware who asked if I had ever heard of the afterlife. And at that point, I was willing to do anything because I felt like I was dying of broken heart syndrome, and I didn't know how to get better because we could not find a grief counselor. So I started researching, and then she suggested Helping Parents Heal. And our journey started very quickly after Sabrina's passing, which we were so, so lucky. I couldn't imagine any longer than where we were in our journey to not have had Helping Parents Heal. Sabrina was the love of our life. She was an honor student at the University of Delaware. She was John's first mate with boating. She was my best friend, and she was our best friend. She was
truly our best friend.
and she was supposed to take over my real estate company. We could go on and on about Sabrina, but we were very tight, and we still are. We still are every day. Our healing, and I have to thank you guys, Elizabeth and Irene. And we Zoomed like every single day that there was a Zoom. I joined states where I've never been. If there wasn't a medium reading, I would just pop into Ohio and be like, "Hi, I'm Mara from Long Island. I just need to listen to you guys." And I tell everybody that grief is hard. It's hard. You have to work hard at it. And we've read 50 books. And
Yeah.
Suzanne, we love you. Mwah. You just got me through my mom's passing, and I had sent my mom a book by accident, and it was your book because it was an Amazon, and that's a long story, but that book was there for me when I needed it two weeks ago. So
Yeah,
that's a little bit.
I think we just refused to believe that Sabrina was just gone after the accident, and we were just kind of walking around in a fog, and she had to be somewhere, and HPH just put us on the right track, and we always say it's that club that nobody wants to be a member of, but thank God the club is there to help us, and every day is another adventure for us, and HPH is with us 24/7 along with our adventure to keep in contact with Sabrina. So I can't thank you guys enough.
And we love our
all the
group.
help.
I want to say hi to all of us, all of our group from Long Island that's on this Zoom tonight. We just adore you guys. We had a great meeting last night, packed house, and just adore. This 1 hour meeting is never a 1 hour meeting. It's 3 hours. So we never want to leave each other.
As it turns out, it helps us to help them, and we hope we're helping them. I think we are. We're doing, and it helps us tremendously too. And it's just one big circle of everyone helping one another, which is very nice.
Yes, definitely helping others helps us even more. And you guys have been doing so much to help these parents. And I just want to let everybody know that John was one of the firefighters who went in during 9/11. I think that some people have seen that on the different gallery readings that have happened. His brother passed of cancer. No, not brother.
No,
his friends.
My best friend, what we used to joke around, is a brother from another mother passed away at 9/11, and I didn't think grief could get any more intense than that. It was just unbelievable, and then this happens. So we
But
reached another degree.
the really incredible thing is that when Kathy Behrens was bringing through Sabrina, she was talking about the fact that Sabrina was surrounded with all of these people who
Yeah.
had transitioned during 9/11, which is just so beautiful to imagine. And they must be taking care of her and just so, so grateful to her, her dad, her mom. So anyway, I just wanted to go ahead, if this is okay. And I know you guys, Sabrina is one of the stars of all of the gallery readings. She certainly is good at coming through and communicating with you guys. But this is one with Mitch Ott, and it's not very long. And I'd love for you all to listen to it with us if that's possible. So now I'm going to have to find it again. And I don't want to seem silly as I'm doing this. It's weird because this whole thing comes up at the top and I can't figure out how to get that off. But okay, let's see. Here it is. So I'm going to make it bigger, and then let's go ahead and listen to what Mitch has to say. Okay, it's Mara and John, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, so here she goes again. That's
Okay. Well, what's interesting is I sort of felt this. She was familiar coming in my field. So let's
we
get
go.
on here. Okay.
This is Nicole. This is our daughter, and this is Nikki. And there was somebody who ended up in the car with Sabrina who has now transitioned. So
okay.
Yes. So
Okay, well, she says she's so excited, but Nicole, this is for you. And she says, I needed to just jump in. She's like, my bestie. And she's like, thank you for living on and thank you for the excitement. And she says, I tell you, there's good news coming. There is good news coming. And she says, you better work hard. So just know she's super excited. And she keeps saying, you need to know, I'm so happy. You were actually praying so much that this would happen. And you were like, the chances of this happening is not much. So just know that she says, I had to fight the line to get here. She says, but since Mitch already knows me, I got to jump the line. So just know that she's got a lot of sass coming in here. But she says, did you write to her? Because she says you wrote to her and she says, thank you for that beautiful letter. But she says, there's nothing I would have changed. She says, we both were wild and we both were carefree at that time. Do you understand that? Okay. She says, I'm so proud of you and your new beginnings. And she says, I am celebrating with you. And she says, I'm giving you the biggest kiss. And she says, you used to have nightmares, but now your dreams are of me laughing. And she says, I hope you know that that's me celebrating with you. And she says, I am so happy to see you guys all together. And she says, she's like, Nikki, she called you Nikki. Because she's like, it's not Nicole, it's Nikki. We got rid of that a long time ago. So just know that she's like cracking up on the other side. And are you like an animal lover too?
Yeah.
Okay, because she's like showing you rescuing animals and then like being like, I can't keep it. Can you guys take this? So just know that she's laughing hysterically, but she says,
Oh my God.
I have, just wait. And she says, you got some exciting news coming your way. And she's winking. And she says, I'm so excited to watch you grow and to watch you become what you've always dreamed to be.
thank you.
She said, you've been talking about this since you were a kid.
Okay.
What's your connection to, I know this might, Ariel?
Oh, the Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And my niece, mine and Sabrina's niece, loves the Little Mermaid.
Okay, because she says, she's sitting there watching Ariel with you, and she says, I love playing dress up with you guys, and she says,
We just did this. Oh my gosh, we just did dress up with the grandkids, and we were singing the songs from the Little Mermaid, and they would dress up as the Little Mermaid.
Beautiful.
Oh, I probably have pictures on my phone.
Okay, awesome. So just know that she's celebrating right now, and she's going, oh, laughing hysterically. And she says, please know this is how much I am involved. She says, I'm not just in the thoughts passing by. She says, I am your guardian angel. She says, for all of you. So she says, just feel my presence and let's laugh again. Know that I am free and I am still with you in every way imaginable.
Wow.
Thank you.
She says, you look beautiful and thank God all the stuff got worked out with your dress that day. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
So much.
So I am going to try to do this without any commercials coming on, but what a beautiful reading. And I know you'd already had a reading before this, but this one with Mitch, tell us about how that kind of changed your view on the afterlife.
Well, Nicole, this was hard for all of us with Sabrina's transition, and I guess Nicole felt like she had to run away, like running away to her friend in Texas and maybe living there, maybe the pain would be less, and that didn't work. And then she ran to Florida and that didn't work. So she had just come home so that's what, when he said, you're home and with us, and we felt Sabrina's excitement. I'm sure everybody did. He's like bouncing up in the chair, and that's Sabrina, and Nikki, and that's all Sabrina. And we felt her energy. And that was it was an incredible reading because everything that he said is actually coming true now. So we're approaching a year after that reading, and he mentioned some good things happening, and we have some really good things happening. So, you know, we know that Sabrina's our guardian angel.
Yeah, Sabrina is definitely guiding Nicole, just as Mitch said, and it's amazing. It's just amazing how this all develops, and you know, it's just. I always looked at it. My job was just keep the family moving forward and keep everyone together, and that would makes HPH makes it so much easier to do that. And as you could see, the three of us in that reading, Mitch was just fantastic, and our daughter now has joined the company and is kind of fulfilling the role that Sabrina was going to take on, and it's all coming together, you know. And we believe that Sabrina is guiding all of us into this direction. So it's all working out. So
And,
yeah.
Mara, I remember that night with the reading. After the reading, we were texting with Elizabeth. We had a text chain going, and you were sending the pictures of your grandchildren, your granddaughter in the mermaid outfits. Oh my gosh. It was incredible.
It was literally just the night before, and we were singing. I didn't know the words, so I had to open up YouTube, and I was singing, and they were dressed up, and
I wasn't singing. They were singing.
it was an incredible time, and to know that Sabrina was right there. And you know what, and we have learned on our own how to communicate. We've learned the feelings that we feel when Sabrina is near. I have a warmness, I guess, that comes through my heart. I know when she's near. John gets the tingles on the head and down his neck and shoulders, and we know when she's near. She sends us songs on the radio all the time, and every single time we're just jumping up and down and so excited because we've learned to recognize the signs, and we know that everybody can get those signs. It's just being aware. And if you allow the grief to lessen, and you have to allow it to lessen, everything else will be miracles. And every day we experience the miracles of Sabrina coming through with her messages to us. So, and I guess that's the trick.
I love that when you're talking about allowing the grief to lessen, it really is important for us to be able to heal, to be able to raise our vibrations by allowing ourselves to move towards the plane of existence where our kids are right now. And it's so much fun to be able to get these signs. And it's true, in the very beginning, there's tons of signs. As you move forward, you don't necessarily get as many signs, but you start really communicating with your kids. If you're lucky, if you are healing and you're feeling that you are able to move forward. At the same time, I think it's really important to tell everyone here that our kids on the other side have absolutely no timelines. So if you need to have time the way that Patty and Dave did, the way that Irene did, the way that John and Mara did, but not quite as much in the beginning, to be able to experience that healing and moving forward, it's important that you don't circumvent whatever you need to go through to be able to connect with your kids immediately, because it doesn't affect them at all. It's kind of like, I had a friend who said, it's kind of like a fly in the ointment. It really, really doesn't matter to them if we're unhappy, because they know what the ultimate thing that's going to happen through all of this healing is going to be. So anyway, I know that also Suzanne was saying, Patty, I hope you'll tell the story of how you tuned into Sabrina yourself with the evidence about the cards. We can all learn to do this. So
well, it wasn't actually Sabrina. So it was a mom that the very, very first gallery reading for HPH that Dave and I were on at the beginning of May of last year.
James
was it James Van Prague?
Yeah.
And there was a woman that it started coming through with him, this about a girl with leukemia and holding hands. And Dave and I we thought it was Lauren. Everything was Lauren, and we tried to raise our hand, but we didn't know how to do it. So we didn't get connected. But this reading came through for this other woman named Sky. Her daughter's name was Mara, and we felt like that was a reading for us because our daughters were so similar. Everything that happened so similar. And then we ended up getting connected with her
Well,
after
the next day was the
premiere of our video from our
YouTube.
off of our reading. And Sky, this mother, was watching our reading. Well, she had reached out on Facebook and said, I would like to connect with these parents. And we ended up connecting with her, and I ended up talking with her a week later. Well, when I very first started meditating, that was the very first week I was meditating. I was doing Suzanne's Sip of the Divine, which is just 3 minutes where you sit in peace and you just kind of quiet yourself and you listen. I actually got Lauren telling me Mara is with us. She's happy we're playing cards. And then, so I wrote this down in my little journal. And then the next day, again, she says cards. I didn't know what it meant, so I wrote it down. Well, when I talked to Sky on that Friday for the first time, we had a 2-hour conversation.
My grandpa.
At the end of the conversation, I shared this with her. Well, the next morning she said, "Oh, Patty, you're not going to believe this, but her mother, Mara's grandmother, had just passed, and they used to play cards with the grandmother. Well, the 2 daughters had just gotten tattoos of playing cards on their arms." And that's what I think was coming through from Lauren and Mara to me, was that there were these playing cards. There was this validation of evidence that this actually came through. So it's kind of just shows you that if it doesn't take a lot of time if you sit and you can quiet your mind. And one of the things Lauren came through with me and shared with me was that I could come to you more easily if this heaviness of grief isn't permeating everything, right? So to be able to have the lightness, like you were sharing, Elizabeth, of knowing that our kids are with us, and that gratitude of knowing they're with us and feeling that lightness, they can come to us more easily and they can connect with us more easily when we meditate, or even just walking out in nature. They're more able to connect with us when we have that ability to lighten ourselves of that grief and the pain and the guilt and all of those things that we carry as a burden that they don't want us to carry.
Yeah.
But it was pretty amazing.
So true. And both Patty and Dave and John and Mara, share when we talked to you about this, the connections that you found with your girls.
So before we put together this Zoom, we had gotten a group text with Patty and Dave in it, asking if we would be available tonight to do the Zoom. And so we're meeting Patty and Dave for the first time. And a few synchronicities happened at that time. One was I sent a picture of Sabrina over to them so that they knew what Sabrina looked like, and I sent it to Elizabeth. But Sabrina in that picture was wearing a Tiffany necklace that I'd given to her. We had given to her for as a gift as she was going to college when she was accepted into University of Delaware. And it's the olive branch, and that meant a lot to Patty.
Yes.
And that was the first synchronicity.
So when she sent the picture, I'm looking at this picture and I saw this necklace, and the shape looked familiar. So I zoomed in on it and I thought, oh my gosh, this is the same Tiffany olive branch design so I gave Lauren this, we gave Lauren this Tiffany ring for her 16th birthday. And then she gave me the matching bracelet when she went off to college. And to find out that Sabrina had the matching necklace, that was just a synchronicity that it's impossible to ignore.
And then April 28th, when one of us discussed April 28th as a birthday, and that's Sabrina's angel anniversary. So April 28th was relevant to both of us as well.
Yes, because April 28th is Lauren's birthday. And so I said to Dave, oh my goodness, they were celebrating or honoring Sabrina's first angelversary when we were in Washington celebrating Lauren's birthday. And I just found that very interesting. And not a coincidence that our girls are definitely connected. What are the odds of
Yes.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not only are your girls connected, but they're also connected with Carly. And maybe you could tell a little bit more about that, Irene. It's so amazing to think that Carly obviously brought, I would say, definitely Lauren to Helping Parents Heal, but also John and Mara. So could you just say a little bit about that?
Well, I think it would be great if they'd talk about that and how we connected through the girls.
So maybe we can start with
Patty.
Well, I can start.
Yeah.
Well, obviously reading still right here, and reading about Carly and Irene's experience with Carly and how it affected me because it was so similar to what I went through with Lauren. And then I looked up the Carly Kids Foundation, and then the fact that she lived in Bluffton, and the fact that I was prompted to reach out to her, which I'm not spontaneous at all, but something said to me, reach out to her right now. And that our girls, the similarities, they both had ice cream cakes on their birthday. They both loved Hawaii as one of their favorite places to vacation. They both loved to read. They both wanted to be teachers. It was country music. Yeah. I mean, I remember being on Hilton Head Island with Dave and Irene calling me and saying, hey, something about country music. I said, oh my God, Lauren loved country music. She was a huge country music fan. So very similar. The similarities are just crazy. Clearly, they are connected up there. And Lauren said in our reading, Carly showed me the ropes. So out of her mouth.
Yeah, that's what we think. We think Lauren said, I've had enough.
Yes.
It's enough. It's time to step in, Carly, and help my mom and show her the way.
And before I forget, Lauren said in our reading, you and Carly's mom are going to be like this. And Irene is such a dear friend to me and has been such a huge person in my life these last 15 months. So absolutely, Lauren and Carly, thank you for that.
Plus, you live in Hilton Head, which is pretty. So that's wonderful. And so with John and Mara as well, I mean, I think that all three of these girls are such movers and shakers, but maybe you could talk a little bit about that, John and Mara.
Well, Sabrina has been incredibly strong with coming through on the readings, and I know that Carly had to be the one helping because how did she figure it out so fast? We always knew it was Carly. And I remember the first time, so after soaking in everything from HPH for a year, we had reached out to Elizabeth and Irene and said we would love to be affiliate leaders if they would give us that honor. And so when Irene called me, I was like, oh, I saw the caller ID come up. I was so excited. It's like a star calling me. We're so honored to be affiliate leaders on Long Island.
I just want to jump in about the country music. I don't listen to it all the time. I'm not, I enjoy it at times. So the last time we actually, Sabrina's birthday is April 3rd, and she came home for the birthday, and we drove her back to Delaware. And she was trying to convince us. She was playing all this country music, which we never heard her play before. She goes, Dad, just listen to it. Give it a shot. We're on like 95 heading to Delaware. And it was like, wow. So we were listening to it, and she was like half the ride there trying to convince, like, listen to this artist, listen to this song. He was trying to convince us how great country music is. I'm like, all right. By the time we got to school, I was convinced. I was like, all right, send me a playlist and we'll go from there, So it's funny that you guys mentioned country music.
And when we did look at her playlist, one of the songs that we believe that she played in the car was Heaven. I'm not sure which artist it was that sang it. And we were just, we know that Sabrina's soul knew she was leaving. And we've spoken with Dr. Mark Pitstick about the evidence. And I think that was our first wow. We went to pick up Sabrina's belongings at her dorm room, and the pictures, she had pictures on the wall, little squares all across. And the first thing I saw was butterfly. And Sabrina was not the butterfly type of gal. But those were the signs we had received for those 2 or 3 weeks before we went to Delaware to pick up her belongings. But more than that is other little sayings in between the pictures. And one caught our attention, which said angel energy.
Yeah.
Which we now made
Oh,
a
yeah.
shirt for her foundation, but angel energy, live, and all these little, all these positive quotes, live today like it's your last. I was staring at the pictures the other day, and believe it or not, there's a lightning bolt with a positive phrase through it. And every time I look at it, I'm finding another synchronicity, something else. Like she knew we were going to be with you guys. She knew about Suzanne's stepdaughter. And Wolf, of course.
Well, I just want to also say that Jim Spruill and Gloria are on here tonight, and obviously that incredible book that arrived at their house that was upside down and backward, but also that just ended up in their Amazon cart. They weren't even trying to purchase it. Started this friendship, started this incredible relationship that they have, and obviously ultimately led to Jim being the director of this incredible film. Could you tell us, Mara, about what just recently happened that is so similar to what happened to Jim and Gloria?
Oh, you're talking about the book that ended up at my mom's?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was with my mom on July 28th. It was her birthday. And I stayed with her in Florida for a couple days as we celebrated her birthday, and she had to show off that she benched 250 pounds. My mom was 83 years old. She had a little help with her trainer, but 250 pounds. While I was there, she needed a charger for her phone, so I used my Amazon account and I had it sent to her place, and I did not change it back. And I had just ordered Suzanne Giesemann's last book. And instead of it coming here, it ended up going to her apartment. And so when we, so fast forward a week later, literally a week later, I was called that my mom had a massive heart attack and that she was in the hospital. And unfortunately, she was unresponsive. After seeing her in the hospital, we knew that it was only going to be a couple of days. And we went to her apartment to get what we could for her. And when I went there, there was Suzanne Giesemann's book. And that got me through the next week or so. Every single page, I soaked it up. I finished the book, and that got me through another hard time. So it's just, it's amazing. The synchronicity as well, that book was sitting there, because we literally had 5 minutes to pack because we had to catch a plane within 2 hours and the airport was 40 minutes away. So we didn't pack enough clothes, and that book was sitting there and waiting for me. Another gift.
That's so beautiful. And I just want to say that the four of you, the six of you actually, are so inspiring. And it's so much fun to hear you talk about your daughters. And I think that the most important thing for everyone to understand is that at some point, it's going to be normal for all of us to be talking about our kids in the present tense and talking about everything that they're doing on the other side. Right now, it's really fun to be able to do it here in a private group, but I'm just so proud of all of these kids. They're just amazing, and they're doing miraculous things from the other side. And I appreciate you for being able to articulate that, as well as Irene, because of course Carly's with them as well. And I'm sure Morgan and Chelsea are also helping out over there, as well as all of our kids. All of our kids are friends on the other side, every single one of them. Susan as well, of course, Suzanne's stepdaughter, as well as Dakota, Gloria and Jim Spruill's son, and so as well as all of our kids. And it is so important for all of us to understand that they are working just as hard as we are to communicate with us here, as we are to communicate with them. And it's getting easier and easier. And I truly believe that the veil is thinning. So, Irene, did you want to say something because we only have about 2 minutes left?
Yeah,
Did
I
you?
just wanted to thank everyone for being here and to say that it means so much to Elizabeth and I to get to know all of your kids. We love coming on the meetings, and when the gallery readings are going on in advance, a lot of times we know who the reading is for before anyone else does. And every day when Elizabeth puts the tributes up, I always talk to each and every one of the children that are listed for that day. Your kids are mine, and we're one big family, and that is the blessing about helping parents heal. And that's the silver lining to this journey that we're on, that we have each other, that our kids are with each other, as Elizabeth says. And I just feel so blessed to have all of you in my life. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, everyone. And I also just want to say that our kids are so excited that we're together. But I think that the most important thing is that now that we are, again, knowing all of these kids the way that we do, I can't wait to hug them, every single one of them, when I get to the other side. But I'm not in a hurry. And I think that that's important too, to realize that we're here for a reason. We're here to be able to help others. We're here to be able to make our children proud, and then when it is our time to transition, they will be there immediately, helping us to and it'll be as though not 1 second has transitioned as well, just so that nobody's missing anything. So thank you both. Yeah, Patty.
Did you want to say something?
I just want to say that no matter where you are in your journey, because it took us 3.5 years to find Helping Parents Heal, and we're in an incredible place right now. Have faith, trust, and give yourself grace and patience, because you'll get there, because your kids are looking out for you. Hang in there. No matter where you are on your grief journey, you're going to get there.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. And again, we're all one big family. We're all here for you. And obviously, we have our caring listeners that are always available. They're volunteer parents who have gone down this road before us. Lynn and Lisa, I just want to recognize that they're here, although they're also at the Sheraton Wild Horse Pass, because the dads are all meeting together, and Lisa has been giving readings free of charge to all of the dads that are there, which is pretty incredible. And then Lynn could probably do that in the next year or so as well. She's that intuitive. But anyway, it's great to see them. It's great to see all of you. Just know that our kids are working to make sure that all of us heal, and that we have the best experience possible while we're here. And of course, missing them in the physical, but definitely not missing them in the spiritual. They are with us every single second. So thank you so much. And they're our biggest cheerleaders, as I said. They are always helping us to move forward and heal. Thank you so much for being on here, Suzanne, as well as Patty and Dave, as well as John and Mara, and Irene and Lisa and Lynn, and everyone else who's here. We always ask everyone to unmute. Oh, and Jim Spruill and Gloria as well. We always ask everyone to unmute and say thank you and good night. So if you'd like to go ahead and do so, please do so now. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see
Love you
everyone.
guys. Love to everybody.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Great to see everybody. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.